All right, good morning. We are live. We got a big day today, a lot of information going on. We have the press conference coming up in about 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere around that time. We will stay apprised of that. There is potential for a delay with that press conference because of information that happened last night. But to get everybody caught up, today is day 67. Let me know how the audio is there. In the last 24 hours, Iran torched a UAE oil terminal, which is probably not going to play well for them and the United Arab Emirates. They hit an ADNOC tanker with drones. They fired 15 missiles at the Emirates. They forced schools across the country to go to remote learning, and they lit gas prices up to $4.46 a gallon, the highest in the nearly, I would say, 4 years. And here's the part nobody on cable news is connecting. Iran didn't just hit oil. They hit the bypass, the pipeline that the UAE built specifically to dodge the Strait of Hormuz. I believe we could very well see a declaration of war between the United Arab Emirates and Iran. Never before have we seen former partners in OPEC attack each other, go after each other. And that looks like what's about to happen. But this is not an escape hatch for Iran. This is not random. This is their strategy. Okay. That's their strategy right now. Burn it all down. If you're new to the show, smash the like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. 20 years on submarines. I'm telling you right now, that target was picked for a reason. I'm going to catch you up on the last 24 hours because it moved fast. Yesterday morning, President Trump launched Project Freedom. 15,000 troops, over 100 aircraft, guided missile destroyers, all to escort commercial shipping through the Hormuz, right? We've got the greatest military on earth doing what it does. Iran's response, they send these fast attack little mosquito boats. It's a big mistake. We had 4-star Admiral Brad Cooper on Sunday, took a tour of the Strait of Hormuz. He's a pilot. He actually flew the Apache helicopter through that area to get the actual lay of the land. When's the last time a 4-star did that? I'm thinking Patton is my guess. Maybe Chesty Puller. So Admiral Brad Cooper does that. He said Iran historically rolls 20 to 40 boats when they want to harass shipping. Yesterday, they could only field 6. An Apache and a Seahawk helicopter lit them up in minutes. 6 boats gone, shark food. And that's what a degraded military looks like. Then Iran panics. They start launching these ballistic missiles, 12 of them to be exact. 3 cruise missiles, 4 drones at the UAE. They hit the Fujairah oil terminal. They hit the VTTI facility. They set it on fire. 3 Indian workers were wounded. They hit an ADNOC tanker called the Baraka with 2 drones. The UAE called it maritime piracy. Saudi Arabia now steps in and condemns Iran. Qatar condemned Iran. Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, all of them, the entire Sunni Gulf states are lined up against Tehran right now. By last night, the UAE, they shut down all of their schools. They've grounded planes. They're having them turn around midair. We have 4 missile alerts go off last night in Dubai for the first time since the ceasefire. And gas at the pump in your neighborhood, I'd love to get a price check on things. Let's get a price check on Isle America. Price check. Put your gas prices in the chat. But price of gases right now across the United States is climbing. A lot of people are confused on why that is. It's called supply and demand. Supply and demand. That's just the way it works. So, if you want to complain, complain. My complaints department is, well, I never had one. But Trump goes on to Fox and said any Iranian force that touches a U.S. ship, and I'm going to quote him, says blown off the face of the earth, unquote. He was on with Hugh Hewitt. Hugh Hewitt asked him if the ceasefire was over. Trump said, quote, "I can't tell you that." To me, that's a translated line. That says to me, the clock is running. And what they're not telling you about the Fujairah strike, I'm going to show you on the map here. We're going to talk a lot about this morning before we get into the press conference. And if the press conference starts, we'll go there immediately. So here is this Fujairah strike. This is an oil refinery in the United Arab Emirates. And you can see this here in the distance. I wouldn't want to be too close to that either. That burning oil is not good for your lungs. We'll zoom in a little bit there. So you can see that. This is one of the world's most important ship service locations in the Gulf of Oman. And I mean, I think it handles 174 ships is how many that it will handle there. So Iran has really turned everyone against them. Well, that would typically be their partner. I mean, that's what they're doing. They want to burn everything down. They don't care right now. I'll see if I can find this on the map for everyone. Fujairah. There we go. Crap. I can't find it on my map isn't working, I guess. But, here we go. Right here, you can see where this is. So the Fujairah terminal is right here. We're going to zoom in. You see this? This is their terminal. Look at all the oil containers and things like what? Right. Let me see if I can find it here again. I had it on the map. Once you zoom in a little, oh yeah. So Fujairah is here. It's not very far from Iran. I would say that's 40 miles across there, maybe 40 miles. So this is the port that they hit, this oil storage facility that they hit. And I don't believe that the United Arab Emirates is going to play nice. The United States, we play nice. We follow rules of engagement. We follow the Geneva Convention. We follow all of those things. These Middle Eastern countries don't. They understand one thing only: power, intimidation. That's it. That's why Trump has basically thrown everything into a shambles, because they've never been used to negotiating with someone that, I don't know how to put this without just a little bit of sailor talk. Trump doesn't give a shit, right? He doesn't give a shit. I'll just say that right now. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about you being upset. He just doesn't care. And I think that's one of the beauties that we have right now. He's not worried about being reelected. He doesn't care. He can't be reelected, right? Now, he's going to troll people and say that he's going to be in for the next 9 years. He's going to troll them because that's what keeps the liberals guessing and their blue hair catching on fire. But we know that that's not going to happen. U.S. and Iran exchange fire in the Strait as Trump attempts to open the shipping lane. All we're trying to do is open the shipping lane for everyone. For everyone. There's no reason that Iran should be able to control all of this. We got another article here, and I would love to get your opinion on this one because I believe that this is very, very important. I think that Trump has finally realized that he must seize the Strait of Hormuz. There is no negotiating with these people. Let's do a poll in the chat right here. We got a poll going on. Is it time to start more strikes on Iran again? I believe that is about to happen. If you think that's about to happen, press 1 for yes, 2 for no. But I firmly believe we are about to see more strikes today. I think we see them today. Iran warns the U.S. that we're just getting started. They're just getting started, baby. They're just getting started. They ordered a new truckload of bass trackers from Bass Pro Shop, and they're going to outfit them with DYKES. I mean, that's kind of where they're at right now, right? That is where the Iranian government is operating from. It's sad. It's pitiful. It's disgusting. But this is what they've got. This is the United States, or this is the Iranian Navy. You're looking at it right here, right? What are your thoughts? Is that the Iranian Navy? Because it damn sure feels like it. I'd love to get your opinion on this. We're going to move over to the press conference here in about 15 minutes. There are rumors that this is delayed. There are rumors that it's delayed because of a KC-135 tanker that kind of, I can't confirm a lot of this yet, but I'll go ahead and show it to you here and get your opinion on this. If this is true, the game has changed. A U.S. Air Force KC-46 Alpha, for all of you Air Force people that would probably freak out if I got your airplane wrong. I don't know crap about aircraft. Okay. I have a friend that's a former fighter pilot. He interprets for me. U.S. Air Force tanker KC-46 Alpha rumored to have declared an emergency by transmitting code 7700. And I don't even know what the hell that means, 7700. But apparently they transmitted code 7600 to the ground. This is the second U.S. Air Force refueling tanker operating over the Persian Gulf, declaring an emergency. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. If it is, now you can see where this is located. Let's go here. You can see where this is located. Looks like it took off in Dubai, flying over the UAE, flying over Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So basically peaceful countries. Was this a mechanical emergency? Did Iran do something? I don't know. We don't have any information yet. But I guarantee you, if this is real, and you can't assume everything on the internet is real, but if this is real, the game has changed. The goalposts have moved. The net is empty. They pulled their goalie, whatever you want to call it to make yourself feel better. That's what happened. All right. We got some new members here on the channel. The Kingdom became a member. Thank you.
How dare you?
Or how dare you? There we go. We always try to get 10 new members. Let's get 10 new members today. Thank you so much. Memphis Conservative. Good morning, brother Ben and everyone in the chat. Stay blessed. God bless you. I hope the Lord lifts you up and your life. You deserve it, Memphis Conservative. Great guy. Go follow him. Phenomenal. But if this is true, and this happened, shit's about to get real. I'll just whisper that one. Now I want to ask this question for the chat. With Iran violating the ceasefire over the last 24 hours, which it damn sure seems like they did, with them violating the ceasefire over the last 24 hours, do you think this happens? Fox News quoting U.S. officials, we're closer to resuming large-scale fighting in Iran than we were 24 hours ago. I am leading, signs point towards yes for this one if I had the magic 8 ball. Signs point towards yes, that we're about to go kinetic again. And we're going to get some more strikes. That's my thoughts. Let's go here. This is the president talking yesterday at a press conference there in the White House. Listen to what he says here.
Leading this country. Like, we have a war right now, and went to like, what, 6 weeks? They said, what's taking so long? We were in Vietnam 19 years. We're in Iraq for many years, 10 years, 12 years. We were in all these different wars. Korea, 7 years. I won't even mention World War II. That's a big baby. But you had the wrong person up here. You'll be in World War III.
Now, I want you to think, a lot of you probably have family that are, Depression era family, World War II era family. I know a lot of people are complaining about gas prices. I get it, right? I get it. You all drive these jacked up trucks. You all drive your Bugattis and your Lamborghinis and your Lexuses. It all requires premium gas. I get it. You're upset. Let's go back and think about Depression era, where they were rationing rubber, rationing metal, rationing copper, rationing all these things because of a world war. We're in day 67 of a conflict. And a lot of you are going to be upset when I say this. Quit your whining. Just quit. It's so unattractive. The whining is so unattractive. You can whine all you want. I'm just not going to listen to it. As somebody that's missed, I think I was home for 3 Christmases and 2 Thanksgivings during a 20-year Navy career. I'm not going to listen to the whining. I just can't. I will avoid it like the plague. When my dog whines, I put him outside. Right? So I know everybody's like, man, I got $4 gas. Yeah, you're still ordering $71 DoorDash from McDonald's less than a mile from your house. So, everybody, even millionaires complain, right? I mean, but it's day 67, and Trump brought up a great point. 19 years and wherever, 17 years here, just pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. The whining is so unbecoming. Don't do it. I've got a clip here I found from a guy. Actually, you should go follow him over on X. His name is John Doyle. And John Doyle is an absolute breath of fresh air, is what I would say. He is a breath of fresh air for what he says, how he says it. And I want you to look how young this guy is. Look how young he is. And just listen to him. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee while you listen to this. He works for the Blaze. I'm not a big fan of Glenn Beck because I think he can cry at the drop of a hat. But I want you to listen to this.
You've got a lot of people who are excited to tell you that, whatever Trump had going into his inauguration, that generational coalition, it's been squandered. And it's been squandered because he did something insufficiently, or he didn't even attempt something. And today, the most common iteration of that you'll hear is that it's the Iran war, right? And though, there's going to be something else in its place soon, that is what we're hearing now. But it's always got to be something. So a few months ago, you may remember, it was that Trump surrendered in Minneapolis, even though he got pretty much everything he wanted after staging what was literally the largest DHS operation in history. And right before that, it was, well, Trump is being cruel. And he's displaying, what was the phrase, performative cruelty by deploying DHS to Minneapolis in the first place in such a big way. Okay, fine. Before that, what was it? It was the Venezuelan refugee crisis caused by neocon Trump kidnapping and blackbagging the democratically elected legitimate president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. Spoiler alert, it actually worked perfectly, and now we control all of Venezuela's gold and oil, and there was never literally any risk of a refugee crisis because the border was completely secured, but people nonetheless just decided that was a thing that was definitely going to happen. And then when it didn't happen, they didn't apologize. They just said, well, can you kind of understand why I was so concerned in the first place and not get mad at me? No, I cannot, dude. We sealed the, what are you talking about? Even before that, the thing was, well, Trump is killing his coalition because of this bill or this quote, something else that pretty much nobody is talking about anymore. I make a living doing this. I can't even remember all of the instances of this because they went away so quickly. People moved immediately on to the next thing. So the point is, okay, people are upset. They continue to get upset. They're likely only going to get more upset if they fall into that cycle. So they were upset about the old thing, and that makes getting upset about whatever the new thing is feel even more justified because of that pattern. without applying any thought towards whether the reaction to the old thing made sense in the first place, which quite often it literally did not, as we said. And this is a process that's been going on and developing and probably even accelerating since before Trump was inaugurated, actually. No one remembers anymore, but yeah, people on the right were actually losing their minds from the moment Trump won the 2024 election, saving the country after what was literally the biggest political comeback in history. Every appointment that Trump made was greeted with hysteria. Every ambiguous situation was declared defeat immediately rather than just waiting it out, maybe even giving the benefit of the doubt. It was just immediately a defeat. And a lot of these criticisms trace back to what I affectionately call the retard right. You've got a lot of people who are excited to.
Do you like that guy? His name's John Doyle. Go follow him over on X. Join the channel as a member. I share a lot of this kind of stuff within the Discord community. And I believe the guy just nails it. It looks like the press conference is going to start on time, I believe, even though we have some information coming in that, you know, maybe it wouldn't because of the potential for that tanker to be going down. I hope that the press conference goes on time because, number one, I have a real job that I got to go to. And number two, I am very interested in hearing if something happened to one of ours. If one of our aircraft went down at the hands of the Iranians, I'm going to be a little miffed, to say the least. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. I know I can get a little colorful language sometimes. I'm going to try not to. Okay. Vivek for the win. Sure. Yeah, I would vote for Vivek. I would definitely vote for Vivek Ramaswamy. Some of you might not. I don't care. I don't live in Ohio, so it doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. I would like to see him elected. But if you choose not to vote for him and then you complain when you get another wackadoodle, then, you know, you're to blame. I want to take some calls here this morning before we grab the press conference. And it looks like it's lit up right now. We've got about 5 minutes. So let's take a handful of calls. Turn the audio down. If you don't, I'm just going to hang up on you. It's the last time I'll say that. And it's the only time I say that. But let's grab a couple of calls for some people here, and let's talk about what's going on. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. And then we'll go directly over to the press conference as soon as that starts, as soon as the Secretary of War and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Raising Caine. I love that name, Raising Caine. We have a Raising Cane's chicken here. I'm not a real big Raising Cane's chicken fan because of the location. It's hard to pull in and out of there. Just like Chick-fil-A, I'm not a fan of Chick-fil-A. They always build their stores in the most inopportune locations, and I'm just not a fan of their chicken. So there you go. You just got a menu recommendation from Ben Dykes this morning. So give me a call, 615-475-7864. If we don't get any calls in, maybe we'll take some calls after the press conference. It's up to you. I don't really care. It's your show, not mine. But if for all the people complaining, I call and never get a chance to talk, whatever, you know, that's you. You do you, boo. How about that? We got about 1,400 people watching this morning. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. It helps get the formula out. Let's see here. Tuberville was no week. I would say learn grammar. Learn grammar would be. I'm going to go grammar for the win, unvaxxed Chad. Tuberville was no week, WTH. I am from Alabama, but I don't speak Ebonics, so I can't figure that one out either. I'm not a fan of Caine's either. Man, we got a lot of bad spellers this morning. Okay. MAGA embarrassed. Oh, yeah, we're so embarrassed. So embarrassed watching Kamala flounder like a clown independently. We're so embarrassed. Let's go. I want to see. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything that MAGA is actually embarrassed about. Let's go here. Let's embarrass some lefties. How about that? I'm pretty happy about, and you learn, I'll leave your comment up there as we embarrass the leftoids.
Tension continues to rise across the Middle East as Iran is firing on vessels in the Persian Gulf. This comes as the United States is working to guide ships out of the Gulf through the Strait of Hormuz as part of Project Freedom. Overnight, CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper described the U.S. firepower protecting the operation.
It's a defensive operation. We are employing U.S. ballistic missile defense-capable destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, multi-domain unmanned platforms, and then 15,000 service members to extend this defensive umbrella across the Strait of Hormuz. We have an enormous amount of capability and firepower concentrated in and around the strait, including A-864 Apache and M-860 Seahawk helicopters.
I spoke yesterday with President Trump, who told me that if Iran attacks U.S. vessels in this area, they will be, quote, blown off the face of the earth. The president went on to say, we have more weapons and ammunition at a much higher grade than we had before. We have the best equipment. We have stuff all over the world. We have these bases all over the world. They're all stocked up with the equipment. We can use all of that stuff, and we will if we need it. We do know early on Monday, 2 vessels were successfully escorted through the strait, but since then, Iran has ramped up attacks on the UAE, a U.S. ally in the Gulf. 15 missiles and 4 drones targeted the country with damage caused to a key oil facility. The bottom line here, the Iranians are testing this fragile ceasefire as the United States is preparing for the possibility of a return to combat operation.
I believe we see combat operations this morning. That's what I believe. I believe Operation Epic Fury, this brief by Hegseth and General Caine, I believe we see a return to kinetic strikes. I believe they might have to change the name of the operation. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me know what you think because of the ceasefire, the War Powers Act. I don't know. That's, whoa. Cassandra, 10 memberships. Wow.
Amen.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Hallelujah.
Join the channel as a member. Get
And,
access to the Discord
boom,
server.
shagala.
Get in the private chat with nothing but patriots. I love it. You're the best. Thank you so much. It looks like, let's just hope Kuwait is not shooting at our stuff again. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. Good MG, what war powers? Oh, basically the president has 60-day window to do sort of like conflict resolution. Apparently he paused the ceasefire. It very well could reset the War Powers Act. I don't know. Cassandra, thank you so much for giving out 10 memberships. Absolute winner of a day. Winner of a day when we get to 10 new memberships on the channel. This is an interesting. Let me see if I can find that again. I had something up here. It looks like Megyn Kelly is now starting to do the work for the Democrat Party. It is what it seems like. We'll go to that clip here in just a second. It does look like this press briefing is going to start on time, which is good for us because number one, I have a job, and number two, that means that hopefully they have things in place. But this is the press briefing. You can see the gaggle of goons there that I call news reporters. And we're going to get a real peek behind the curtain, so to speak, with the Joint Chiefs Chairman, Caine, and Pete Hegseth this morning. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered here, specifically about clowns like this. Clowns for $1, Alex. All right, let's go right here. It looks like the Joint Chief and the Secretary of War are walking out.
Well, as you know, President Trump has directed U.S. Central Command to restart the free flow of commerce through the Strait of Hormuz under the umbrella of Project Freedom. To be clear, this operation is separate and distinct from Operation Epic Fury. Project Freedom is defensive in nature, focused in scope, and temporary in duration, with one mission: protecting innocent commercial shipping from Iranian aggression. American forces won't need to enter Iranian waters or airspace. It's not necessary. We're not looking for a fight, but Iran also cannot be allowed to block innocent countries and their goods from an international waterway. Iran is the clear aggressor, harassing civilian vessels, threatening mariners from every nation indiscriminately, and weaponizing a critical choke point for its own financial benefit, or at least trying to. For too long, Iran has been harassing ships, shooting at civilian tankers from all nations, and trying to impose a tolling system. Iran's plan, a form of international extortion, is unacceptable. That ends with Project Freedom. 2 U.S. commercial ships, along with American destroyers, have already safely transited the strait, showing the lane is clear. We know the Iranians are embarrassed by this fact. They said they control the strait. They do not. So American ships led the way, commercial and military, shouldering the initial risk from the front, as Americans always do. And right now, hundreds more ships from nations around the world are lining up to transit. CENTCOM, along with partner nations, is in active communication with hundreds of ships, shipping companies, and insurers. All of these ships from all around the world want to get out of the Iranian trap that they have been stuck inside. As a direct gift from the United States to the world, we have established a powerful red, white, and blue dome over the strait. American destroyers are on station, supported by hundreds of fighter jets, helicopters, drones, and surveillance aircraft, providing 24/7 overwatch for peaceful commercial vessels, except Iran's, of course, which is why our ironclad blockade remains in full effect as well. In fact, 6 ships tried to run the blockade out of Iranian ports as Project Freedom commenced, and they were all turned around. This is more than strategy, it's also humanitarian. By breaking Iran's illegal stranglehold, we're protecting the lives and livelihoods of sailors from dozens of countries, securing global energy routes, and preventing shortages that hit the world's poorest people the hardest. Once again, America is using its strength to lift up others. Iran is trying to subjugate the world. To what remains of Iran's forces, if you attack American troops or innocent commercial shipping, you will face overwhelming and devastating American firepower. The president has been very clear about this. We prefer this to be a peaceful operation, but are locked and loaded to defend our people, our ships, our aircraft, and this mission without hesitation. To Iran, let innocent ships pass freely. These international waters belong to all nations, not to Iran to tax, toll, or control. To our partners, allies, and the rest of the world, this is a temporary mission for us. As I've said before, the world needs this waterway a lot more than we do. We're stabilizing the situation so commerce can flow again, but we expect the world to step up. At the appropriate time and soon, we will hand responsibility back to you. To the incredible Americans executing this mission right now, simply thank you. Your courage, your readiness, your unmatched professionalism and precision are why the world can breathe easier today and every day. You are and always will be the greatest fighting force in human history, unmatched always. Project Freedom is underway. Commerce will be flowing, and America is once again leading with strength, clarity, and purpose for the benefit of the entire world. Our will is unshakable. God bless our troops, and God bless the mighty United States Navy as well. Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. On Sunday, at the direction of the President, CENTCOM initiated Project Freedom with the objective of facilitating the safe passage of international commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Over the past 7 weeks, Iran's repeatedly threatened and attacked commercial shipping in the Strait in order to effectively cut off commercial traffic and damage the global economy. by obstructing one of the world's most critical maritime checkpoints, a vital transit route for approximately 1/5 of the global oil consumption. Iran is weaponizing the global supply chain. This action disregards established navigational rights and the law of the sea, and the regime led by the IRGC is effectively attempting to hold the entire global economy hostage. Let me give you an update of the last few days of activities. And if you take a look at the map here, as the Secretary said, the United States has established Project Freedom to open up the Strait of Hormuz. This graphic highlights the kinetic engagements that the Iranians have attempted to make or have taken against the region. The green dots and blue dots show the groupings of commercial, cargo, and tanker vessels. And the United States has established a significant presence over the strait here in order to open up the free flow of commerce, noting the blockade still continues along the eastern flank. The map shows the examples and samples of Iranian attacks against commercial vessels in the strait, as well as the Gulf of Oman and up in the Arabian Gulf. Since the ceasefire was announced, Iran has fired at commercial vessels 9 times and seized 2 container ships, and they've attacked U.S. forces more than 10 times, all below the threshold of restarting major combat operations at this point. You can also see the group of tankers and cargo vessels in the U.S. blockade line, as I mentioned. As a result of Iran's indiscriminate attacks across the region, there are currently 22,500 mariners embarked on more than 1,550 commercial vessels trapped in the Arabian Gulf, unable to transit. In addition to shipping, Iran has continued to deliberately attack its neighbors. Just yesterday, Iran attacked Oman once and the UAE 3 times, including an attack on Fujairah oil terminal, which was successfully defeated. They also launched cruise missiles, drones, small boats at U.S. forces defending commercial shipping in the straits, and United States Navy MH-60 helicopters and Army AH-64 Apache helicopters successfully defeated those threats. Thus far, today is quieter. Let me describe this defensive operation just a few clicks down for you. As the Secretary said, Project Freedom is designed to protect commercial shipping and help restore the flow of commerce through the strait and sustain freedom of navigation. CENTCOM has established an enhanced security area on the southern side of the strait that is now protected by U.S. land, naval, and air assets to help defeat further Iranian aggression against commercial shipping. I'd like to share a little bit more about U.S. capabilities, but for operational security purposes, I'm not going to get into specific details out there. On the surface, guided missile destroyers and other warships are detecting and defeating Iranian threats. This includes fast boats and one-way attack drones. In the air, more than 100 fighters, attack aircraft, and other manned and unmanned aircraft, synchronized by the 82nd Airborne Division, are in the air 24 hours a day, providing defensive overwatch for the enhanced security area and its approaches that I discussed. These forces are comprised of over 15,000 American service members and have established localized air and sea control to protect against Iranian threats. Commercial vessels that transit through the area will see, hear, and frankly feel U.S. combat power around them on the sea, in the skies, and on the radio. And as of this morning, as was mentioned prior, 2 U.S. flag merchant vessels have transited, and we anticipate more to transit over the coming days. Further up the Gulf, U.S. Naval Forces Central Command continues to work to identify and mitigate any threats. Beyond Project Freedom, CENTCOM and the rest of the Joint Force remain ready to resume major combat operations against Iran if ordered to do so. No adversary should mistake our current restraint with a lack of resolve. And the President has said, as the Secretary has, that now is the time for those with equity stake in the strait to come assist. Before I turn it back to the Secretary, I want to take a moment to highlight part of our joint force today. And today I want to talk about the paratroopers of the United States Army 82nd Airborne Division. When the president or the secretary need immediate, scalable, and lethal combat power in CENTCOM or elsewhere, the All-American Division answers the call. The 82nd is the core of our nation's immediate response force and ready to deploy within hours of notice. These paratroopers are capable of accomplishing any mission in any environment, constantly training, constantly ready to jump from Air Force aircraft into ground combat and seize key terrain if ordered to do so, just like their predecessors did in Sicily and Normandy in World War II, or to secure or enable the follow-on forces to flow into theater as they did in Grenada or Panama. They can do the range of missions from counterinsurgency to counterterrorism operations to power projection, as they have many times over the course of the history of this great division. They can do all these things because they're incredibly well-trained, well-equipped, and well-led, but also because of the indomitable spirit of the All-American paratrooper. Every single one of them volunteered for this role, volunteered to go to airborne training, and volunteered to serve. But this division is now more than just a formation that we use for forcible entries. For example, just today, they are out there coordinating, integrating, and synchronizing land, air, space, sea, and cyber forces using joint all-domain command and control. They use next-generation tactical networks that are AI-enabled to augment intelligence and operations, and they seamlessly synchronize all of these effects and are doing so in support of Project Freedom as we speak. The relentless focus on technical innovation allows the commanders out there in the field to see, sense, and understand the opportunities that are in front of them, along with the associated risks, and make smart decisions out on the objective. With incredible courage, tenacity, and grit, they are going all the way every day. And whenever the nation calls on them, they are there to answer the call. We are grateful for their service and their leadership. Lastly, before I close, as I often do, I want to remember some of our fallen. Today, we remember Sergeant William Rivers, Specialist Brianna Moffett, and Specialist Kennedy Sanders of the 718th Engineering Company, U.S. Army Reserves, out of Fort Benning, Georgia. They were tragically killed on January 28th, 2024, when attacked by an Iranian-backed proxy force at Tower 22 in Jordan. We continue to carry on their memories. We remember their names. We remember their families. And the Secretary and I are deeply grateful for all of our deployed forces who are out there doing our nation's work. And sir, with that, I'll kick it back over to you.
Very good. We'll take a few questions. Go ahead.
Thank you. Alexandra Ingersoll, One America News. Do you assess, Mr. Secretary, do you assess what's left of this small boat fleet to be a significant threat or a nuisance to be managed? And then secondly, what is your message to critics who say that the U.S. doesn't have a strategy in this mission?
Well, any threat needs to be taken seriously. And just like those 6 attack boats that the chairman mentioned were taken seriously and dealt with before there were any real threat to the American military vessels that they were approaching. And that is it. Small craft like that are all that Iran has left. Their ability to get close with a destroyer of the capabilities that we have is limited, but we're going to take it very seriously and kinetically, quickly. We're not going to allow a threat to gather. And I can tell you, even from just this morning, the strategy remains laser focused. In fact, what I think you see from Project Freedom is that we're not allowing ourselves to get distracted. This is a separate and distinct effort, temporary in nature, that we plan to hand over to the world. The world has expressed a desire to be a part of this, as is often the case, or maybe almost always the case. American leadership is required. So the president was willing to undertake this, send commercial ships through, send destroyers in, provide this red, white, and blue bubble of protection, and encourage the world to step up. Because ultimately, this waterway is, as I said, far more crucial to the rest of the world, and they need to have the ability to defend it. So I think this is a reflection of a laser-focused strategy, actually, right here.
Morning, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman. David Zia, Real America's Voice. I wanted to ask you, of any of the fast boats that have been either sunk or identified, are there any armaments larger than, say, small, AK-47 type stuff, or any anti-ship cruise missiles identified? And my second question is if there's a divide between the IRGC and Tehran, is there a way to get Tehran to agree to let us go after the IRGC that is doing these attacks without violating the ceasefire?
Well, right now, anything coming at our crafts, regardless of what's on it, has to be defended against, and that's the case. I don't know what the exact armaments were on those fast boats.
Small arms, nothing significant on the fast boats.
Rifles or small machine guns. There were some small coastal cruise missiles shot down as well. So there's been I think there's some frothiness in the beginning aspects of this that were dealt with very directly by our destroyers, and we're communicating both overtly and quietly to the Iranians to allow this defensive operation to happen on behalf of the world. There are some actions the IRGC takes sometimes that are outside the bounds of what maybe Iranian negotiators would like. That's their job to rein that in and ultimately create a condition for a deal, right? That's not something I talked about in these remarks, but that's happening in real time. Iran has an ability to make that deal. But what we're demonstrating with Project Freedom is they don't control the strait. I mean, we know Iran is embarrassed by the fact that our blockade is holding, and we can run ships through, and we're going to help the world run ships through. And if they hold it at issue, the whole world knows who's doing it. It's not us. We're willing to open it up. It's Iran, and that creates a dilemma for them. We hope they make a deal. Yes.
Thank you, sir. My first question is for General Caine. Mary Margaret with the Daily Wire. You said that the attacks by Iran so far are below the threshold of restarting major combat operations. What is that threshold? And then for Secretary Hegseth, are there still concerns about mines in the strait? And can you kind of clarify these reports of kamikaze dolphins that we've heard about?
I haven't heard the kamikaze dolphin thing. It's like sharks with laser beams, right? The threshold of restarting is a political decision above my pay grade. What I'll say is it's low harassing fire right now. It feels like Iran is grasping at straws to try to do something across the southern flank. To your question, David, their command and control structure remains very fractured, and I think they're struggling to maintain control down echelon at the edge. But it's still pretty low level kinetics at this point in time.
And I can't confirm or deny whether we have kamikaze dolphins, but I can confirm they don't. Ultimately, any follow-on effort, if there are mines identified, would be something that some of our units could undertake or the world could undertake. But right now we know we have a lane of safe passage that commercial shipping can flow through.
Thank you, Secretary Hegseth. Last 24 hours or so, Iran's fired at us. We fired at Iran. Just going to ask you more directly, is the ceasefire over?
No, the ceasefire is not over. Ultimately, this is a separate and distinct project. And we expected there would be some churn at the beginning, which happened. And we said we would defend aggressively, and we absolutely have. Iran knows that. And ultimately, the president's going to make a decision whether anything were to escalate into a violation of a ceasefire. But certainly we would urge Iran to be prudent in the actions that they take to keep that underneath this threshold. This is about the straits. This is about freedom of navigation. This is about international waterways. This is about free flow of commerce, all the things that happened before, and only Iran is contesting. So right now the ceasefire certainly holds, but we're going to be watching very, very closely. Absolutely.
Secretary
James, go ahead.
Mr. Secretary, thank you. General, thank you. I want to first express my gratitude and admiration for the work you do and for everyone involved in our armed forces, and also for the accomplishments of Operation Epic Fury, which I think are too often dismissed too lightly. But those accomplishments don't obscure, I think, a central default that has occurred here, and I would like you both to address it. On the first day of this conflict, President Trump addressed the Iranian people directly and said, when we're finished, take over your government. It'll be yours to take. And then on the seventh day of the conflict, in a Truth Social post, the president said, quote, there will be no deal with Iran except, all caps, exclamation mark, unconditional surrender. What happens to that pledge to the Iranians? And when did the president decide to capitulate on his demand for unconditional surrender?
Well, James, I wouldn't, you started out nicely, but you ended exactly where we knew you would end. The president hasn't capitulated on anything. He holds the cards. We maintain the upper hand, and Project Freedom only strengthens that hand. And so he will ensure that whatever deal is made or whatever end state is reached creates ensuring that Iran never has a nuclear weapon, which is number one. And he's been focused on that. And the deal and discussions are centered on that. And what the Iranian people take advantage of after the fact is up to them. And he's been very clear about that. And maybe you do it now, maybe it happens later. But ultimately, he's also been clear. We're not going to entangle this into some nation building project. Our objectives are clear. They've been pursued from day one. Hopefully the Iranian people take advantage of that because they're being taken advantage of by this regime. As you know, 45,000 Iranians, innocent Iranians, killed before the outset of this. That's what this government does, kills their own innocent civilians. Getting out from underneath that is going to be a challenge of the Iranian people, and we certainly hope they take advantage of that. Thank you.
Can I have one follow, please?
Go ahead. Everybody else
One follow.
follows directives. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Can you share any information regarding the South Korean ship that was reportedly hit by Iran? Is Seoul in contact with the U.S. military about it? And is there any indication that they would heed Trump's call made on social media to join Project Freedom?
We hope so. We're in contact with that ship, CENTCOM, I should say, and the Maritime Coordination Forces are in touch. And I think targeting like that is a reflection of the indiscriminate nature of what Iran is doing. We hope South Korea would step up, just like we hope Japan would step up, just like we hope Australia would step up, just like we hope Europe steps up. But we're not waiting for them to do so. We're looking to set the conditions to hand to them. But the president was clear in his truth message that, hey, this is your ship. You should take part in helping to defend it. We very much hope they do. Go ahead.
Mr. Secretary, in terms of new U.S. intelligence reports suggest that the timeline for the war in Iran to get a nuclear weapon has not changed since last summer, still at 9 to 12 months. Is that intelligence wrong? How can this be after so much bombing? And for General Caine, going on back onto what you're talking about, the Strait of Hormuz, the president recently said that the blockade is even more effective than bombing. So why didn't we start the campaign with the blockade? And initially, how many planned ships do you plan to escort or take through commercial ships to the Strait of Hormuz today or in the coming days?
Well, we don't discuss the specifics about intel, and anybody that does shouldn't be. And I can't confirm or deny whether that is indeed correct. Speculation, as far as I'm concerned, coming from you. But ultimately, what Operation Midnight Hammer did in the obliteration of those facilities was set back their program. And then, because of the efforts of that 12-day war, the president was able to recognize that this threat, while they continued to seek nuclear capabilities, their will was still there to seek a nuclear bomb. Ultimately, they were creating a conventional umbrella of so many missiles and so many capabilities that no one would want to challenge them. Think of the North Korea. This is the North Korea strategy. We have so many conventional capabilities, you won't do something about it. And underneath that, we're going to develop more nuclear capability. So the will was still there. President Trump had the courage to say, we have to dismantle and take on those conventional capabilities while the nuclear facilities are watched 24/7 and overwatched. And we will ensure one way or another, hopefully Iran chooses a deal, that they give up those ambitions, give up those capabilities, and we're able to confirm that every step of the way. So that has been, President Trump's been focused on it. He's set them back like no other president. He ripped up the terrible deal that would have given them a bomb. He took care of it in Midnight Hammer. We're watching it right now, and ultimately feel good about the fact that the end state will ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon. Go ahead.
Sir, I'll let CENTCOM talk to the number of ships they're going to take through because they're the nearest ones to talking to the commercial shippers, and I don't want to get out in front of them. On the order and sequence around the military objectives, that's a decision the president and the secretary go get us at, and at the time we were focused on the primary objectives that were in front of us. Thank you.
Ryan Morgan with the Epic Times. On Friday, President Trump notified Congress that the hostilities that began on February 28th had terminated. That came on the deadline of the 60-day war powers deadline. Will this administration be seeking congressional approval for any further military operations if the ceasefire breaks down?
Our view is the one you described, that ultimately with the ceasefire, the clock stops. If it were to restart, that would be the president's decision. That option is always there, and Iran knows that, and that's why their choices in Project Freedom are important. The president retains the opportunity and the capabilities, more capabilities than we had at the start of this, to restart major combat operations if necessary. If Iran is not willing to follow through on its side of the bargain or make a deal, then the War Department is postured, locked, loaded, and ready to go. We hope it doesn't have to go in that direction, but Admiral Cooper and our forces are in a 3-point stance and ready to go. Yeah, last question.
Thank you. Liam Cosgrove with Zero Hedge. In recent weeks, both Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's head of Mossad have stated their intent not to cease combat with the Iranians. Netanyahu put this on Twitter. Israel's head of Mossad said Israel's goals are not finished until the Iranian government collapses. And so they're referring to the government that President Trump has brokered a ceasefire with and is working on a lasting peace in the region with. And so that's, something many Americans, especially American farmers, are hoping he does get to a lasting peace. And so if President Trump is successful in that, and the Israelis are explicitly stating their intent to continue fighting at a later date, how can you ensure America doesn't get roped back into a war if that comes? And secondly, with Netanyahu comfortable tweeting something like that out, and also Netanyahu has continued bombing Lebanon despite President Trump
I would
explicitly
say your
telling him
question
not
is
to.
based on the false premise that somehow President Trump is being pulled in by Prime Minister Netanyahu to any of these actions. And that's where you're going. Just to be clear, President Trump has led at every step of this based on his view of American interest and America first. And we're grateful that Israelis have been very capable partners at many steps of this. And they may have some objectives at times that are slightly different than ours. But there's only one hand on the wheel ultimately directing this, whether it's Project Freedom or previously Operation Epic Fury, and it's President Trump. So we're grateful for their input, their insights, the existential nature of the threat they face from an Iranian bomb, the capabilities that they can bring to that, but ultimately the coordination will happen with the leadership of President Trump. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All righty. I knew we couldn't make it through an entire press conference without somebody blaming the Jews. You knew they were going to blame the orange juice. You knew they were going to blame the grapefruit juice. Whatever juice is there, they are going to blame it. Man, I'm so happy that that happened. I was really waiting for it. Gosh, talk about the whiners. Talk about the absolute simps that are happening right now. Good grief at the freak show that is the news media. Good light. I am so fed up with the news media, and I know all of you are. Now, questions, comments, concerns, no cuss words. I will use the cuss words as they are applicable. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Get your questions, comments, concerns in this morning after the press briefing. Do we see more kinetic strikes happening in the next 24 hours? I'm going to say things that are going to happen for $2,000, Alex. That's what I believe. Iran attacking the United Arab Emirates. Bad idea. Those people are ruthless. Ruthless. I'm all for Israel just wiping Hezbollah off of the face of the planet. I'm okay with all of it. Let's go right here. Brian, Lima, Ohio. What do you got, Brian?
Hey, good morning, Ben. Nice to see you on a great Tuesday morning, getting ready to go boat after your show. And,
let me stop you right here. Today is a magical day. It is not very often that Taco Tuesday falls on Cinco de Mayo.
That's okay. You got me on that one.
Cinco de Mayo, Taco Tuesday. I am sure someone somewhere just got a free sombrero. What would you like to say? Go ahead.
Oh, I'd love a free sombrero too, but okay. I only voted no in the chat about the small boats.
Sure.
Because I was watching something yesterday on YouTube. I won't mention the channel because I'm talking on your channel, but some missiles and some drones were taken out by our ships, and a few of them fell short. So I mean, if they can't hit the target, I mean, that's why I voted no. So, but I understand
it's
if
really
they have
strange that 50%, almost 50% of the people think that the small boats are not a threat. All it takes is the Iranians only have to get lucky once.
Right.
Lucky one time.
So,
That's all they got to do.
Yep. So you have and I always call Cinco de Mayo. Well, Mayo. I always call it Cinco de Mayonnaise.
Perfect. Thanks, Brian. God bless you. Little tidbit of information about mayonnaise. All right. God bless you. Lines are open 615-475-7864. That's the problem. Iran only has to get lucky one time. One time. The coal that happened under Clinton. My buddy Guyman in here. Well, Guyman knows a little bit about sorties, Apache food. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Let's see here. Caller. No, let's see here. Remember the coal once. That's right. That happened under Bill Clinton. He was probably busy. Hold on. My humidor is right here. He was probably busy. I always have a cigar in my pocket because I usually smoke a cigar, taking a nice lunch walk. So there we go. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Turn the volume down or I'll hang up on you. There you go. But I'd love to get your opinion on what you thought you heard or what you did hear when you listened to Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. I believe we're about to see kinetic strikes happen again. I believe that the president has come to the conclusion that he gave Iran an off-ramp. He gave them a chance. Just like Kamala and Monica Lewinsky, they blew it. They blew their chance. And I think that's where we're at right now. I think Iran is at a point of they only understand force. Here we go. Right here, U.S. military close to resuming combat operations in Iran. How many? Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll put a poll in the chat. You can type 1 for yes. Do we resume combat ops in Iran in the next 24 hours? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Pete was measured. Dizzy and deaf, I'm going to give you that one. Dizzy and deaf, that might very well be comment of the day.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
And boom shakalaka.
Dizzy, I already like you because not only did you notice the lack of memory by some people on the coal, but you also noticed it as well. Pete was measured. I used to work for Pete Hegseth. Pete's a great guy. Literally a great human. He has a lot of empathy. He has a lot of sympathy. He has children. For anyone that thinks that he's going to send young men and women into combat needlessly, you need your head examined. Go to your proctologist because that's where your head is at. First, they need to remove it from the anal fissure, and then we can examine it. But I believe Pete Hegseth is very measured in what he says. And the reason that he's so good at it is he knows how the news media works. The news media is all about gotchas, gotcha questions, gotcha comments. They try to get you on the record for some. It's like the people, Grits and Gravy still owes me like $500, right? Because we had this wager that Trump said no boots on the ground. The president never said that. Never said it. But Grits and Gravy, I will forgive your indebtedness because the president never said no boots on the ground. He said he would like to avoid that. 50% think small boats are not a threat. What if it has explosive? What if it's got a dirty bomb on there? A little bit of that uranium dust, little uranium-235. What if it had that on one of those small boats? Right? Let's go here. I want to play you this clip of this audio clip of this Iranian small boat making an idle threat at the United States.
That the failure of the United States government to fulfill its commitment In the negotiations, the Islamic Republic of Iran declared the Strait of Hormuz completely closed again. No vessel of any type or nationality is allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Any vessel intending to exit the Strait of Hormuz that cross the red line between Hengam Island and Mina Sagat Port, and any vessel intending to enter the Strait of Hormuz that cross the red line between Khuf Mubarak and Fujairah Port will be met with a severe response from the IRGC Navy and will be destroyed. This is Sepah Navy. Out.
There you go. So that's what we're up against. He wouldn't rule out boots on the ground, but would rather not. I don't believe there's any president that wants to send boots on the ground anywhere. But at the same time, you cannot limit anything, and you can't give the news media this soundbite, like Vicky said, because hell, the Democrats would try to impeach you over a soundbite. Well, he said that. Come on, man. You got to be stupid to think this. Why would you ever limit yourself? No, we don't want to buy goat milk. Go away. Your boy Roy, that's funny. Actually, I do like some goat milk. Sorry. I do like a cold glass of buttermilk. I like a cold glass of goat milk. I'm all for all that kind of milk. I love some milk. I want to show you. Let's go here real quick. This is, I don't know if this clip will play. Here we go. This is, I think this sums it up really quickly. Right here. Wait, let's go there. I think this sums it up pretty quickly as to what they're trying to do here. Let's go this.
In about 35 minutes, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs Chairman will give us an update on Operation Epic Fury and Project Freedom as the U.S. works to guide those ships out of the Strait of Hormuz. Aisha Hasni is live at the White House with the latest. Hey, Aisha.
So that was prior to the briefing for anyone that didn't tune in for the briefing. I think the Secretary of War and General Raisin Caine removed any and all doubts. Everything is still on the table. We're not going to limit ourselves on any capabilities, why would you tie the hands of the American military? Why would you ever take away the greatest thing that we have? Okay, so news coming in right now. 3 major explosions heard in Bandar Abbas, airstrike on Sib Dara's port, and fighter jet activity over Shiraz. Okay, this just got interesting. Like right after the press briefing, this got interesting. You can see these 3 red markers: Shiraz, Bandar Abbas, Shib Daraz. This just got Western really quick. 3 explosions heard Bandar Abbas, airstrike on Sib Daraz port, fighter jet activity over Shiraz. That tells me Pete probably hung up the microphone, walked in and said, go. Glass factory. I'm going to go with that very quickly. I'm okay with this. I don't think Iran understands anything but potatoes and buttermilk. Yeah, I love that. I think that this was planned. Let's have a press conference. Let's lay out what we're capable of doing. As soon as we walk out of the room, let's do it. Okay. I think I'm kind of good with all of those moves. Look at this. Possible airstrikes, Bandar Abbas, airstrike on Sib Daraz port, and fighter jet activity. We know it's not the Iranian fighter jets. It's going to be Israel. It's going to be UAE. It's going to be the United States. Now they've got fighter jets over Shiraz. Okay. Bring it. I'm not here all the time, but I'm here for a good time. Let's see here. Is the Qud force Iranian deployed factions still a problem? And if they are, how do we handle them? Wouldn't they be training cells? Are they real? I believe they are real. Thank you, Worth Speed. I know you follow me over on X, and you're a father of a couple of Navy veterans. Really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I think they are a real problem. I think given any opportunity, the sleeper cells could very well be activated here in the United States. I don't know about you, but I don't go anywhere without a Second Amendment operating tool. Dizzy Dean, thank you. Dizzy and Dev. If you became a member on the channel this morning, go to the community post page. There is a link for the Discord server for everyone that became a member. Ben, thank you for your continued service. Let me read that out loud. Thank you for your continued service to our country. Are those guitars I see behind you in your studio? Let's do a music collab. God bless America and all her service. It is. I've got a Martin D28, the Billy Strings model. I've got a Martin 00028. I have a Gibson Hummingbird, and I have shipped about 14 guitars to disabled veterans across the United States. That's kind of what I do with my with a lot of the money that I receive from my channel. I ship guitars around the United States to disabled veterans. For those that don't know, that's what I do in my full-time job. I help vets. And that's what I've used. And let me give you the standard $20 and above super chat soundbite.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And a boom shakalaka.
And a boom shakalaka.
Thank you, Dizzy and Def. I really appreciate that. Southwest Idaho became a YouTube member. God bless you. Let's do this one.
How dare you?
How dare you? But yeah, a lot of the money on the super chats I use to send these. I found a source to get Bibles locally free, and I ship Bibles, and I've helped a lot of veterans sending them guitars, because I think guitars is a good way of helping. I got some free Bibles sent to me from a lady by the name of Lisa Walker, actually. I'll give her name. Here are some Bibles for the veterans. More to follow. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that. She sent me a whole box of Bibles, and I really appreciate it. And I think a lot of other people do whenever you get to pay things forward like that. So that's what I try to do. I'm not a good human being on multiple levels. How about a few riffs? It's a bit early for me I do have a guitar lesson on Tuesdays. I take lessons. Really good friend of mine. Well, he's become a really good friend. But yes, I do take guitar lessons. Here's the question for everyone in the chat that always stirs up some guitars and Cadillacs. I love Dwight Yoakam. He is the original Skinny Jeans. I don't know how many of you, but feel free to put your answer in the chat. Who is the best guitarist of all time? I'll go ahead and tell you my answer. Roy Clark proved me wrong. Roy Clark is the best guitarist to ever pick up an instrument with strings. Without a shadow. Ben, you're amazing. Dizzy and Deaf, I am not a good human being. I used to be a raging alcoholic. I saw the world on a bar stool. I have done things in Thailand and the Philippines that would make a prostitute blush. I have done things in various countries that would make the Pope cuss, but I've had a great time. I'm a redneck kid from Lower Alabama. Never thought I would meet a bunch of presidents, shake hands. Never thought I would ride my Harley Davidson from England to Russia. I never thought that I would ever be able to do something like that, but I did. So, I've had a hell of a time, man. I've had a hell of a ride. Pardon the pun. let me see if I can pull this up. I'll show you how crazy this is. Here we go. We'll pull up the Iran map to show you. So I rode a Harley Davidson from right here, from London to, where is it? This is all written to Moscow right there. I rode a Harley Davidson from London to Moscow. I mean, I'm not Peter Fonda by any means, but I rode a Harley Sportster, a 1999 at the time I had a Dyna Lowrider. I rode a Dyna Lowrider. It was purple, like a royal purple. Rode a Dyna Lowrider from London to Russia. Had a girlfriend on the back. She got tired of riding on the back of the bike, and I dropped her off in Berlin. She got a train back. And it was just me and this old British Royal Marine that made the way. God bless America. Thank you for the postage for the Bibles. I really appreciate that. You're a good human being. Let's see here. Let's grab some more comments, questions, comments, concerns. Lead me, follow me, or get out of the way. Canes, Terry.
Amen.
Boom shakalaka. Thank you so much.
And boom shakalaka.
What does this say? Not pneumonia, guys. Lung fibrosis. I need a lung transplant. If anybody's looking to give up a lung, Geehart, message him. He needs one right now. God bless you, Geehart.
How dare you?
God bless you, and enjoy. How much was gas? I don't remember. It was in the, it was prior to 9/11. So at that time I was a raging alcoholic. I don't really remember a lot. Dumped her in Berlin. I did. Well, I didn't dump her. Her back was hurting. So I sent her back. Ben, once Iran realizes they're losing, they'll go all out. It's known as the Samson. Jeff, I think you're right. I was stationed at Robinson Barracks in Stuttgart, Germany, 87 to 94. God bless you. Thank you for your service, brother. If you are a veteran, wait, wrong banner. If you're a veteran, if you're the family member of a veteran, post that branch of service and time in service or whatever. Let's see here. I don't know anything about who is XRP Alchemy. I think that's a troll. XRP Alchemy, are you a troll? I don't know if you're a troll or not. I can't tell. Typically, I can sniff out the trolls. Army. Oh, I owe everyone a flush. We had to flush someone during the press conference. Flush. Let's see here. I bought a trike 3 years ago because I had a bad wreck and tore the ACL in my left leg. Navy retired 83 to 07. Dow 1926. Salute to you, shipmate.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
I got to give the big salute to the shipmates. I think I have this voice for shipmates. Salute, shipmate. There you go. That's my big one. But today is Cinco de Mayo. It's also Taco Tuesday. Everyone run out, get Montezuma's revenge. That's what you're going to do. You'll be pooping through the eye of a needle by the end of the night. Let's see here. The Donald's Ultimate Troll, XRP. God bless you. There we go. Paratrooper Coffee. You know, I have been thinking of actually opening my own coffee shop, like a coffee shop, where I only make like military grade coffee. I've really thought about it. I don't know the name of the coffee shop, but I would like to. Let's see here. Jimi Hendrix is not the best guitarist. Dizzy and Deaf, what are you studying with your guitar teacher? Flat picking. I'm actually studying a bunch of like the Fenger style is what I'm trying to learn. So I guess a little bit of flat picking. Yeah. I'm a big country music fan, but at the same time, I've seen Metallica in concert 16 times. I'm looking for my 17th, but I'm not going to Vegas to go see them because the prices are like $1,200 a ticket. I was at Woodstock 94. That's one of my best concert stories ever. I was at Woodstock 94. I remember Eddie Van Halen opening up with the national anthem. I remember the Grateful Dead coming on and they started jamming. And I don't remember the next 2 days. I was in the Navy at the time. Drug testing was not really a thing. Or maybe it was. I don't remember. Me and a buddy of mine, we were in submarine school in Groton, Connecticut. We went to the liquor store the day before. We bought like backpacks of vodka, the military special vodka in the plastic bottles. We had giant backpacks full of vodka. We didn't take any mixers. We didn't take any food. We didn't take any water. We just were like, hey, we're going to live on vodka. And it's military special, so it's got to be good for you. We went there. We had to park like 4 miles away. We walked into the concert. I was young and stupid at the time. You know this phrase, young, dumb, and you know that kind of stuff. We met up with some chicks. They had a bunch of mushrooms. I think they had some mescaline as well. Maybe peyote. I don't remember. But we met up with them. We did some stuff. And I remember the national anthem. I remember Jerry Garcia. And I probably missed the greatest concert of my lifetime. There's 2 concerts I regret. That one, because I took drugs. And I regret not being able to go to Russia and see Metallica play in front of 1 million people. But I am a big music fan. I'm a big Tom Petty fan. I've got an autograph back here somewhere from Tom Petty. I ran into Tom Petty in an airport. He was kind of incognito. And I said to him, we were in this like typical airport bar. I was like, you're Tom Petty. He's like, yeah. I said, everybody at the bar is going to know you're Tom Petty unless you buy me a Macallan and give me an autograph. So there you go. Dime bag was $10. Oh, wow. Man of War. I don't know that band. Ben, thank God for your Guardians. Okay. Had to give my Metallica ticket away in 92. I had to stupid work. Oh, you should have quit your job. Never miss a concert. Don't ever miss a concert. Greatest guitarist, though. Nobody will ever convince me that Roy Clark is not the greatest. Coffee shop names, Iron Battalion Brew or the Patriot Grind. Okay. All right. I got you. Guys, I want to, let's go right here. I think we're going to do it. I think we need to give everyone a giant boom shakalaka from a good friend of mine.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, Boom, we could do boom shakalaka. We love the boom shakalaka, you know. Nobody booms and shakalakas as much as I do. I do it better than anybody. I invented it, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize it. They say, sir, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing a boom shakalaka. And they say, sir, we've never seen anybody do it quite like you're doing it, but we're doing it very well. And I could say that.
So that's a good friend of mine, Sean Farish. He's over on X. If you want to send any donations, stuff like that, feel free. Address is down below. I would always appreciate that. It goes a long way to help my mission here on the channel. With that being said, I'm headed to work.
Chief of the watch on the 1MC, pass the word. Dive, dive, sound 2 blasts of dive alarm, pass the word, dive, dive.
Dive, dive. Dive, dive.
Here we go again! Here we go again! Same old song again! Same old song again! Marching down the avenue! Marching down the avenue! We don't know who will be through! We don't know who will be through! They cry, a long, long time ago! Long, long time ago! Heard it on the radio! Heard it on the radio! Sounds so good to me! Sounds so good to me! U.S. Navy submarine! U.S. Navy submarine! Recruiter just inside here! Recruiter just inside here! Turns out I gave them 5 years! Turns out I gave them 5 years! Had to get out of boot camp! Had to get out of boot camp! They won't like light the smoking lamp. They won't light the smoking lamp. Now I'm a submariner. Now I'm a submariner. Rolling in the deep, sir. Rolling in the deep, sir. Top secret mission, hush, hush. Secret mission, hush, hush. No one's gonna find us. No one's gonna find us. 6 months below the ocean. 6 months below the ocean. I can't remember the sun. I can't remember the sun. Can't write my wife no letters. Can't write my wife no letters. And Tony's gonna get her. Tony's gonna get her. But I won't trade this life away. I won't trade this life away. Makes it worth the Navy pay. Makes it worth the Navy pay. If I can't be a bobblehead. I can't be a bobblehead. Might as well just be dead. Might as well just be dead. A long, long time ago. Long, long time ago. Heard it on the radio. Heard it on the radio. Sounds so good to me. Sounds so good to me. U.S. Navy submarine. U.S. Navy submarine. Say Riley, 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 Riley. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Coral Sea. I've been to Coral Sea. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Korea. I've been to Korea. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Desert Storm. I've been to Desert Storm. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Afghanistan. I've been to Afghanistan. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Iraq and back. I've been to Iraq and back. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where will you be? Where will you be? I'll be where I have to be. I'll be where I have to be. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, Riley, 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 Riley.
Okay, guys, gals, girls, this is Ben Dyke Show. Smash a like and subscribe on your way out the door. See you in the next one. Ben Dyke Show is out.
We could do boom shakalaka. We love the boom shakalaka, you know. Nobody booms and shakalakas as much as I do. I do it better than anybody. I invented it, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize it.
Rock on, salute, God bless you. Bubbleheads forever.